you the air support?
Kind of like the idea of it. No guns, no kicking indoors, you know, just quiet.
Oh, yeah.
For Frank Murphy, policing the air has its ups
Hustle the air support.
and downs.
You got a runaway.
Well, I just wanted to say, sir, that was my fault. I talked Murphy into taking us there.
You're supposed to be stupid, son. Don't abuse the privilege.
Roy Scheider is Frank Murphy, a lone wolf.
Freeze! Bozo, how many regulars come in the front door with a key?
Who's about to become a guinea pig.
I thought it was illegal to arm police helicopters.
Well, that would depend on the circumstances, wouldn't it?
Columbia Pictures presents Blue Thunder, a flying arsenal that hears through walls, sees in the dark, and thinks your thoughts.
Wherever you look, the guns follow.
It was designed for war-torn countries.
One civilian dead for every 10 terrorists. That's an acceptable ratio. Unless you're one of the civilians.
It was assigned to American cities.
You're talking about crowd control from the air?
That's what this special detail is all about.
They told Murphy to test it. They didn't tell him what it was for.
A dozen of these copters and you could run the whole damn country.
Who was behind it?
Where are we?
Federal building.
Really? Hey, you want to find out what's going on in there?
We certainly do.
Wait, you gotta do me a favor. I want you to pick up a package for me.
Why they chose him.
He's totally unsuitable for our purpose.
Don't stop for anything or anybody.
Or why they changed their minds.
Turn the face over, go on fire. I never saw this guy before in my life. Come on, let's go.
Well, not so fast. That's government's property. Give me that.
But when Murphy went looking for answers,
Got all this on tape?
I got every word of it.
If it gets back to me, I'll deny it.
the answer came looking for him. The ultimate weapon and the perfect plan. But Murphy stole their thunder.
Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I want to give a little review to a film I watched again recently that I love very much, called Blue Thunder, which I know you can't tell from the fucking shitty lighting. But Blue Thunder is a film from, I think, 1983, maybe 84, I think, 83. Basically, it's directed by John Badham, who I like as a director, John Badham. He did Staked Out with Richard Dreyfuss and Emilio Estevez. That's a film that never gets talked about, but that's a solid film. Short Circuit, I love. War Games, that's another solid film. So I like John Badham. And this is another winner from him. And it's actually written by, believe it or not, Dan O'Bannon and a guy named Don Jacoby. And apparently the idea for Blue Thunder was, what if you took Taxi Driver, but instead of a cab, it was a LAPD guy who had this helicopter, but told as Taxi Driver. And then they thought about it, and then the director and stuff like, we want this guy to be a little bit more sympathetic, so they made it that way. And then they had Roy Scheider. And Roy Scheider, Frank Murphy, I wanted to just tell his name. Frank Murphy. He's basically a guy, again, he's a helicopter pilot, also a cop, and he has his new partner, played by Daniel Stern, very young-looking Daniel Stern. And Roy Scheider's character has a little bit of post-traumatic stress from Vietnam, where he was flying, this guy was pushed off, and it sort of freaked him out ever since. And he'll do this thing where he has this watch, and it's like when you see it's like lines that go in a circle. It's like a timer. So as the lines disappear and disappear and disappear and gets to the end. He does this a lot, he does this, and apparently his reason is that when you don't notice time, when you can't keep track of time, that's when you know when you're going insane, that you're losing it. Like, for instance, when he gets pissed, he drives off, he does it, and he's going like a slalom. What's that movement? Where you're going in between the cones. He does this very quick as he's timing. And he gets out, he just gets at the nick of time. So that was like a nice character trait. And Roy Scheider, may he rest in peace, because I miss Roy Scheider. I think he's a wonderful actor. In Jaws, even his small role in Thomas Jane's The Punisher, he was great. It was just a very solid job. But he was great in Sorcerer, The French Connection, of course. Roy Scheider was always a capable actor. Naked Lunch, he was in that. He was good in that. Definitely one of my favorite performances and favorite films of Roy Scheider. And one thing leads to another, and they're on this, him and Daniel Stern on this sort of stakeout, and they're check out this naked girl just for some fun. But unbeknownst to them, way far away over here, this woman is getting, got stabbed, and there's some police there, and this stupid girl is like, no, don't shoot them, don't shoot them. And then, of course, she gets shot and later on dies. And it's not Roy Scheider and Daniel Stern's fault. It's like, then how the fuck, they're not psychic. They're not going to know. They found a car parked off here and they called it in. They're not, can't really blame them that much for it. But they do. And the boss is actually Warren Oates, which I think this was the last film he did before he died. Might not have been the last film that was released, but I believe it was the last film he did, because they said there's a good documentary here, 45 minutes long, where they said like a few weeks or a few months later he passed away, which was sad. But Warren Oates, who you most probably remember as Sergeant Hallcroft from Stripes, great job here. Very, very fun character. But Roy Scheider, he basically gets put onto this new program where he has to, first he watches this new helicopter called Blue Thunder, and they have this target range, like fake town and fake, like cardboard cutouts of people. And this is like it's a new defense helicopter to control, like, gang violence and when things like, riot control, that type of thing. But, long story short, you find out that the one driving is Malcolm McDowell, A Clockwork Orange in other films. And he has a past with Roy Scheider as well. And he tampers with Roy Scheider's helicopter, so him and Daniel Stern crash into this fucking thing. But ultimately, Roy Scheider is the one who has to test this thing out, because they want some guy with the cops, local law enforcement, to test this machine out. So they follow Malcolm McDowell, and they find out there's this plan going on, this conspiracy, where that woman that was killed before was an assassination. And that they want to do more with this helicopter than they've let on. Like they let fucking urban violence get more and more restless, so they can test this thing out. But the thing is, this Blue Thunder not only is a hardcore fucking machine gun in the front of it, but it has whisper mode, so it can be very quiet, and it also has recording. It can like see through with thermal vision, and also record through like walls and very precise stuff. Very high-tech technology. They record it, one leads to another, and they get hunted down. Daniel Stern's character gets killed in a very harsh way, too. You go, ooh, he gets run over, bound. But I always love, like, Roy Scheider finds the tape, but Daniel Stern left for him. And I have a little funny thing where he wore this, forget what the hell it was called, Fossa, something on his helmet, that he was always asking, what's it about? I was like, oh yeah, very funny. It was like an insult. And Roy Scheider sort of laughs, and some guys like tells him to get out of the helicopter. It's like, you talking to me, asshole? It's like, oh, that's a little bit of that taxi driver thing, you know. You talking to me? And like the score, which I really enjoy, like Arthur B. Rubinstein did a great job. Scheider is pissed. He's going to kick ass. Now you fought with the guy who fucked up Jaws. And as I'll put the trailer up, you know, he stole their thunder and he's kicking ass because he also has his girlfriend, really well played by Candy Clark. Because this girl, she's not the typical damsel in distress in the least. She has a good sense of humor. Like, she goes in to his apartment late at night, he almost shoots her. It's like, come on, where burglars usually have a key and open up, and he just pisses like, well, I guess that's the end of that. Like, she has a good sense of humor to her. She was always likable, Candy Clark. She was also in I think the Blob remake and Q the Winged Serpent. I always liked her as an actress. Just a certain good sense of humor to her. Doesn't seem like a weak type of person, so always likable actress. And practical helicopters actually going in the fucking city, blowing shit up. Yo, and they're shooting fucking F-16s, shooting missiles at it, and whether it be models or actual fucking helicopters, as you missed your both. This is before Top Gun, and you know, they wouldn't do this today, not only because of course 9/11, but even if that wasn't the case, it'd be CGI. But here it looked so much better, practical, and you know, helicopter chasing helicopter underneath like these what do you call it? Like under bridges and like very solid third act. I love when the cops stop Candy Clark, and then his fucking helicopter rises up and shoots a little bit of the cop car, so the back half falls off, and basically they just barely can drive with just the two wheels propped up. And then the mano a mano where he's in the Blue Thunder and Malcolm McDowell's chasing him, and the back and forth. Just a really solid action sequence. And Roy Scheider lands the thing in front of a train because he doesn't want it to fall into the wrong hands, and he walks away like a badass and into the movie. And Blue Thunder is the reason why you got Airwolf. Without Blue Thunder, there would have been no Airwolf. And to be honest, and of course there was a TV show of Blue Thunder where you had Dana Carvey and Bubba Smith, really enough, among others. Well, I know that show didn't last long, but Blue Thunder, I've always enjoyed this film. I always liked this film. For the cast is really good. Roy Scheider, Daniel Stern, Candy Clark, Warren Oates, they all do their jobs well. I like the score. Practical helicopters, as well as really solid miniatures. Very well edited and well shot. The action scenes work. You don't see this today, which is a fucking shame because it's just CGI bullshit. This is why this does not hold up to CGI. I said that wrong. CGI doesn't hold up to this. This holds up so much better than CGI. I fucked that up. But and you know, today helicopters have some of this technology to be able to listen and look through walls with thermal vision and stuff like that. So I'm sure back in the day they thought it was more science fiction, but you know, it's a little bit more closer to truth nowadays. But very awesome piece of hardware machinery, the Blue Thunder, capable cast. Love Roy Scheider in this performance. A solid third act with kick-ass action, great score. Just a very solid, entertaining film. With a great DVD, it has a commentary and has a 45-minute documentary on the film, as well as more. So this is a special edition that really does work. So Blue Thunder, definitely give it a shot if you haven't seen it. Thanks for watching, and take care. Later.